Ohio will probably pick our president today, Tuesday, but Democrats hope the election was decided on Sunday. This is Greg Palast reporting. Here, in the economically wounded heart of Dayton, Ohio, I'm going to church because Sunday is Souls to the Polls Day.
Today, Souls to the Polls Day?
Yes.
Souls to the Polls Day, when thousands of African Americans in Ohio will go from Sunday church to vote early. While most other Ohioans will vote on Tuesday, a clear majority of black folk in Ohio will vote early. This is the Freedom Faith Missionary Baptist Church, and they will load into the church van to take their singing souls to the polls. Tara Williams, a church member and leader of the Souls to the Polls movement, explains why African Americans vote on Sunday.
Well, because typically on election day, everyone works. Particularly most African Americans are probably working 2 or 3 jobs, and it's harder for them to get off that particular day. So early voting hours for our community was very essential, especially weekend voting hours, because that gives us a time to get out and vote. Most individuals are off on the weekends, and so for us in our community, it's easier for us to vote early on the weekends.
We drive behind the church group to downtown Dayton, to the early voting station. And here's what we found. A line of nearly 1,000 voters snaking out of the state building and out into the parking lot. What happened? The Republican Secretary of State, John Husted, cut Black Church Day voting from 4 Sundays to just 1, and just for 4 hours. And at just 1 polling place for all of Dayton, all of Montgomery County.
So do you think that this is a good way to do it, where they just have 1 polling place for early voting?
Well, that's probably not a good way, but that's the way it is now, so we work with it.
You know, it could be an hour or 2 in line. Are you up to it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can I ask who you're going to vote for?
No.
After the hours of wait, voters were herded into this auditorium, where they were treated to a slideshow. The government crowed that on Tuesday, the day when most whites vote, there will be 176 polling locations. Finally, 10 by 10, groups of voters were sent to get their ballots. But wait, these weren't ballots. These were applications for absentee ballots. What's going on here? Absentee ballots are not at all the same as a regular ballot. In U.S. elections, between 1 and 3 million absentee ballots are rejected by voting officials, effectively thrown in the garbage. Voting on an absentee ballot is like playing bingo with your vote.
Number 175 and under. 175 and under can head up the steps. Stay to the left as you exit 175 and under.
But to reassure voters, or to fool them, this big notice was projected on a giant screen.
Early voting equals absentee voting. Oh, no, it doesn't.
Not according to voting rights attorney Robert Fitrakis, professor at Columbus State University. I showed the professor the absentee ballot form handed out at early voting and asked if this was legitimate or a common practice.
Absolutely uncommon. And I would suspect it's either done out of incompetence, for convenience, or to defraud people of their vote. As you can see on this form, you have to fill it out. And the Secretary of State, John Husted, has come up with a notion that if you leave anything blank, even though it's irrelevant, your absentee ballot can be tossed.
So, in other words, these voters could lose their votes.
Absolutely. John Husted, as the Republican Secretary of State, really has decided that he's going to deliver for the Republican Party, that the only way they can win is by throwing as many people as they can off the registration rolls and making it as inconvenient and difficult as possible to vote, particularly during early voting. It's outrageous. It's a systematic attempt to eliminate the hardcore base of the Democratic Party, and they're getting away with it.
When you say the hardcore base, is there a racial element?
Oh, absolutely. It's the new Jim Crow.
Back at the early voting station, we asked our souls from Missionary Baptist how they did at the polls.
How did the voting go, guys?
It went great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Did it all go smooth for you guys?
Yes, it did.
Beautiful.
All right. Bye. Bye-bye.
I didn't have the heart to tell them those ballots may never get counted.